One thing that's important to establish from the beginning is that leaders must have a posture of humility in all things. That doesn't mean you're easily pushed over or have no opinion, but it does mean that you have to lay aside some of your own desires and aspirations to come alongside the vision of the house you're serving. Imagine this with me. Someone in your neighborhood just built a brand new house, and you build houses, and you're really good at it. And they're so excited to show it off, so they host a neighborhood party. You're just acquaintances with these neighbors, but you decide to go because you're curious and there's free food. They have worked for years on this design, saving their money and doing the construction. They did most of the work themselves, and they cannot wait to show everyone. Would you walk into their house and tell them it was mediocre and point out all the flaws in their workmanship? Would you tell them that they should just knock it over and start over? Of course not. Even if there were issues, you would keep your mouth shut and celebrate the wins with them. You'd respect their home and their hard work and honor all of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into getting them to that point. Well, let's say you hit it off with these people and you start to become friends. And I promise you, there's a point. Stick with me. You begin to get closer and closer doing life together. They begin having all sorts of problems with their new home, and one day they ask for your advice. And since you're a builder, you're so excited. Finally, here's your chance. You've been keeping a mental list of all the things they could do to make it better. Out of care for your friends, you want it to be good for them. And do you lay it all on them at once? Of course not. How overwhelming would that be? You hold your tongue, hopefully, and you kindly address the issue with them and walk them towards a solution and see it through to the end. That is respect for your friend's house and honoring their hard work. And maybe someday, when you've established a deep relationship and trust with them, you'll get asked to overhaul all of the issues they're having. But until then, you keep loving them and helping them wherever you can because it's your unique skill set. This, friends, is the same posture we have to have in our church leadership. For some reason, people think their job as musicians and newly hired worship leaders or newly full-time appointed volunteers is to come in and fix everything. And honestly, that could actually be really hurtful and offensive. The church may be really proud of what they've built, and you need to honor that. Hopefully they aren't naive to their issues, but you have to first build a relationship and trust with the leadership before you can make a lot of changes. Honor the house that God has called you to. Honestly, if you walked in and say, "Oh, I can fix you," they may say, "What? We don't need to be fixed. I didn't know we were broken." I'm not saying that they don't have any issues. Churches are made up of flawed people, but worship leaders are flawed people too. So am I. So I just caution you to walk into your position with a posture of humility and honor for the ministry you're serving. Congratulations, you've taken the first step toward clarity in your worship leadership, but let's keep it going. This video is just a glimpse of our signature course, the Overflow Worship Leaders Startup Toolkit. It's your strategic guide to leading your ministry with confidence. Are you ready to become the leader that you'd want to follow? It's time for your next step now. To get immediate access to the full course and start today, click the link below.